Good evening. This evening I'm going to speak to you guys about El Dia de los Muertos, All Souls Day. All Souls Day is a celebration that originates in South American countries, but mainly in Mexico. The celebration usually begins at home, and people create altars. Some have 3 levels, but the altars can go up as high as 7 levels. The 3 main levels of the altars are the closest part of the altar to the table or the ground reflects earth. The second layer usually reflects the spirit of the deceased, the loved one. And the third and the highest layer of the altar reflects heaven. People create altars. These altars are usually hung from the ceiling of their homes and are covered with white cloth and arch of palms. The altars all have marigolds, the flower of the dead, a magenta-colored coxcomb, a white gladiole, and carnations. These flowers are used to decorate the tombs at the graveyard. All Souls Day, El Dia de los Muertos, is usually a day where families get together at home. They clean the house, they gather all of the belongings that they can of the loved ones that have passed on. And basically they celebrate their soul, they celebrate their spirit. They create these altars, and in these altars can have so many things that belong to the deceased or that reflect the deceased. But mainly it's an altar where you provide food for them, beverages for them. And basically it's food that they loved when they were alive. Their favorite food, their favorite drinks, if they like to play cards, if any kind of sports that they like. Usually the altars can get so big that a lot of the offerings are placed on the ground, and then the altars start from the ground up upon a table, and then they create another layer, or they start, as I said in the beginning, from the ceiling. They hang things from the ceiling and they bring it all down onto the floor. You'll see altars where the floor is full of bread, bananas, all the kind of fruits that your loved one, the deceased, really enjoyed while they were alive. The top layer also has a white candle and a small container with water to subdue the soul's thirst and light the way into their destination. Food is also offered, like I said. This, of course, is usually determined by the age of the deceased, but bread, water, and salt are always included. If the deceased is a child, then of course the family puts their favorite toy, their favorite blankie, an outfit that they really liked wearing. Then most people go to the graveyard and they clean the grave sites. They take all the dirt out from around the grave site. They change the flowers. They put clean, fresh flowers. They also add a container with clean water. And a lot of people also provide candles, which is supposed to light the way of their souls. Some people even bring music along with them. A lot of people also like to dance for the souls of their loved ones. They play their favorite music, or some people bring a band. They'll play live music, guitars, trumpets. They make it as joyous as possible, because remembering your loved ones isn't always supposed to be filled with sadness, but the memory is also of all the really great times they had when they were together and while they were alive. In Mexico, El Dia de los Muertos embraces the great of both Catholicism and national cuisine. It embraces all kinds of expressions through decorations in the altar and cooking delicate cuisines for the wellness of the loved one's soul. The dead receive the finest food, breads, sugars, as well as candy, pumpkin, and other sweets. More defined preparations include fine meats and sauce, tamales, their favorite sometimes, and many sweets. The spirit also drinks their favorite beverages. Some people say that the level of liquid decreases overnight, showing that the dead indeed did come and visit, and in return shared the feast with you. All Souls Day, the Day of the Dead, or El Dia de los Muertos, however you wish to call it, has become a very great celebration amongst Hispanic communities. It is an important touristic attraction in most of the towns of Mexico. The glorious festivals exemplify the Mexican mentality. It celebrates the intimate relationship of love between the living and the dead. It also gives us the opportunity to remember all of the wonderful things that happened while that person was alive. It also gives us the opportunity to come together as a family. It's almost like a holiday, Christmas or Easter. It's a gathering that brings all the family together to remember and receive and pay respects to the legend or the history that the loved ones left behind. Thank you.